So if you're not having any fun watching Formula One this year, I have to ask you one question. How the heck are you not? Well, it seems that Red Bull and Max Verstappen are running away with the titles. There's so much happening right now, and it's ridiculous. But I can understand, for most people, why they would want to stop watching. It's kind of boring watching the same person win day in and day out, and then when he doesn't win, the only other person that has is his teammate. But there's so much happening in this Formula One season, and as we enter Singapore this weekend, I want you to really kind of key in on a few of these things that are happening. So I'm going to give you 5 reasons why you should still be watching Formula One. So the number one thing that you should still be watching Formula One for are second and third place in the constructors standings. You know, right now, the second spot is taken up by Mercedes with 273 points. However, Ferrari is at 228 points. You have Aston Martin at 217, and then you have McLaren at 115. Now, I'm not saying that these teams are going to go leaps and bounds and, pass each other, but Ferrari definitely could make up the ground on Mercedes, and Aston Martin, if Lance Stroll could get it together, could possibly move up as well. McLaren was looking like they might, but who knows? And while we're at it, let's look at the bottom of that. We have Alpine, Williams, Haas, and Alfa Romeo all sitting there. They're all going to jockey for position at the end of this season, so you definitely want to keep on watching to see where the other teams end up and see if, starting next year, they can put an end to Red Bull's dominance. The next thing that you want to be watching for in Formula One, and why you should still be watching, are where are these drivers going to be? We just recently found out that Zhou Guan Yu is re-upping with Alfa Romeo, but let's look at Williams with Logan Sargent. Where is Logan going to end up? Is he going to stay with Williams? Is he going to leave? Is he going to stay in F1 for that matter? It's hard to figure out at this point. Also, Yuki Tsunoda, he's been the best driver for AlphaTauri, and yet it's looking like he might not have a spot next year, which is ridiculous that we're going to have a team with Daniel Ricciardo and Liam Lawson. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. It makes sense for Yuki and Daniel to be on that team because Yuki has been the only one who's gotten the points. But who knows at this point? We're also interested in seeing what happens with Sergio Perez and how his driving impacts his placing in the future, and also what's going to happen with Lance Stroll at Aston Martin. Is he going to lean on his father to keep his spot? Because at this point, he hasn't performed nearly as well as Fernando Alonso. So are they going to actually allow him to keep his spot on that team? With all of these question marks hanging around, we should be keeping an eye, and this is a good reason to see what's happening to the rest of the field. All right, and this is another reason why you should be watching, and this is kind of a pain point for those in America, but Japan is coming up, and Japan is one of the best tracks in all of Formula One. No matter what, it's a fun race to watch. Even if you got to stay up all night, hey, it's well worth it, and you can see some great action, and it's a great track to watch. There's still other races on the calendar that are worth watching, so, I think that if you're just kind of tuning out on it, the other reasons and this one will give you plenty of reasons to stay. Okay, another reason to keep watching Formula One, seeing how close these other cars can get to the Red Bulls by the end of the season. We want to see some competitiveness as we're closing out the 2023 driving season. And I think that by actually developing their cars, continuing to make upgrades, some of these manufacturers really, or I should say constructors, have a great chance of catching up, not surpassing, but cutting down that time and making the cars and developing the cars to where they can be for the next racing season. You're going to be developing a new car, but you have to take from this season and see all the results from this season and then try to apply them to the next season. I think that could be very interesting, and we should continue to watch to see if those times come a little bit closer and see if close itself out. And here's the final reason, and it's going to be one of those you kind of either are really into it or you aren't. I genuinely want to see if Max Verstappen will win the rest of the races here on out. I don't think he will, but wouldn't it be crazy if he did? You know, he just surpassed Sebastian Vettel's 9 consecutive race wins, and he's won his 10th. He stands alone in that category, but where does he end up? Where does he end up at the end of the season? Does it end at 10? Do we see Sergio win this weekend at Singapore? Or, you know, does another driver have it in for him? You know, and we just see that massive number just become possibly capable of being beaten. I don't know. I think that it would be really something to go into the last race of the season and see Max Verstappen trying to win trying to win out for the season. I don't necessarily want it, but I think it would also be super interesting. So there you go. There's 5 things. So there you go. There's 5 reasons that you should keep on watching Formula One. Now, not all of them may apply to you, but I'm not saying that all of them should apply to you. I'm saying that there's all sorts of reasons to continue to watch what I consider to be the best racing series in all the world. So I think that with any one of these or multiple of them, your interest should still be piqued in this sport. On a personal note, thank you all so much for your subscription. Thank you all so much for your reviews. If you like this video, please consider giving it a like and a subscribe. I think that it's just been amazing. We're approaching 500 subscribers, and if by the time this video comes out we've hit 500, thank you all so much. But you know, I just feel so humbled by how much support I've been shown and how you guys interact on my videos. It's been a very trying year for me. I'm not gonna lie. I've had to deal with a lot of loss, and one of the things that has really made it bearable is putting my energy into these videos and shorts for all of you. So I really do appreciate all of you for all of your support and all of your kindness. And until next time, take care.